And speaking of entertainment, I think we're going to have a good segment here with our guests. First, I want to welcome Amadeus Finlay, who is the Director of Corporate Communications and Business Development at Blue Hive and a newly acquired company, Paris Marketing.
Yes, sir.
And Cheng, who is the Director of Content at Paris Marketing, which recently became part of Blue Hive. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, it's good to be here, and I think you were last time you were here. I gave you another title, Amadeus, Minister of Fun.
Yeah.
Both that.
He's still trying to live up to it, Tim.
Both at Paris Marketing and at Blue Hive, but also at some of our chamber events.
No, goodness, yeah.
Definitely.
So welcome. So maybe for those that did not see our first segment, Amadeus,
sure.
Maybe you could just tell a little bit about what Blue Hive is, and then the recent acquisition of Paris, and then we'll let Cheng talk a little bit about Paris.
Sure, sounds good. So Blue Hive has been a member of the Worcester economy for about 10 years now. They primarily build trade show exhibits, those bigger three-dimensional things, 20 by 30 spaces and bigger for large international firms. And it's grown exponentially since Paul Hanlon founded it. And he added a millwork firm, Continental, about 5 years ago, which was previously Icarino.
And they do like
in
fine
Boston.
millwork, kind of carpentry, hotel.
Can I give a shout out? Go to the Worcester Country Club and have a look at the millwork there.
They did the millwork, carpentry work at the Worcester Country Club.
We did, and so that just grew. And Paul has a very strong vision. You had Paul here a couple of years ago, and he realised that if we were able to do everything from physical to digital, we really are that one-touch marketing firm. So as he grew the trade show and the millwork division, he looked for opportunities, and he saw digital marketing. And we did a few bits and pieces for a while on our own. We met Paris. We got on very well as people, and we had some successful business deals. And so he thought, that's a merger, that's an acquisition. Let's bring the families together and let them run. And that's been almost 6 months now, and it's going very well.
So prior to that, Cheng, why don't you tell us about Paris, how it got started, and how you get working there, and how the new marriage is going.
Okay, I'll try to do it justice. So Paris is Worcester-based, obviously, as well. And people always think Paris Marketing is Paris, France, but it's actually based off of Paris, the mythological prince of Troy, the whole Trojan War thing. And Paris is famous for shooting Achilles, the hero, in his Achilles, in his heel to kill him. And it happened because our founder, Lisa, actually severed her Achilles tendon, and because of that injury, she was homebound from work. She used to be the in-house director of marketing for a big Boston law firm. But she couldn't go she was wheelchair bound for about, I think, 8 months.
Wow.
And in that time, she was like, well, I need to do something while I'm sitting here and can't do anything. And she came up with our nice little arrow for the arrow that Paris shot, and that's where the name comes from, because of her own actual injury to her Achilles when she severed it. So it's a nice little play on words. But yeah, it's been a great relationship working at Blue Hive. Paul and Lisa had conversations about it, like, hey, does this make sense for you? Does this make sense for us? It took a while to make sure everyone was on board, and Lisa told me the news. It's like, hey, like, we're going to join the Blue Hive family. Like, you okay with that? And I was like, yeah. I mean, we worked with them, like Amadeus said, we worked on a couple of projects before.
Right.
And we liked them, good people. We liked the culture they had as well. We thought that would be a good fit of culture, because we're not quite a traditional marketing agency. We're a little more fun, a little more loose.
Yeah, I think, people hear marketing, and sometimes, I know from my time in government, certainly my time in the private sector, whether law firm that I ran before I got into politics, whether it be at the chamber. When you say marketing, there's a lot of different connotations to that and definitions to that. What is it that you do, and what's your explanation of marketing?
Okay. And I'll be honest, even for myself, when Lisa recruited me, she goes, I have this marketing firm, I want you to join. I told Lisa, I'm like, I don't know what marketing is. I'm an intelligent gentleman, but it's a term that gets thrown around.
A modest one.
Yeah, very modest.
He is a modest man.
But it's a term that it gets easily confused, because it means a lot of things to a lot of people. And she basically said, you're a storyteller. We're trying to tell our clients' story.
Right.
Sometimes we're doing it through the website. Sometimes we're doing it through their social media. Sometimes we're doing it through a print ad.
Yeah.
And she goes, you're a good storyteller. I need a good storyteller, and our clients need someone who can tell their story. And so for me, the way I always said is that marketing is just telling your client's story through various means, obviously digital, print, or otherwise, radio, TV. And so that's what we do. That we help tell our clients' stories to their customers and to their friends and to anyone else like that.
No, it's a great way to great way to say that, and so you're telling that story through the various mediums. Could be social media, could be print
Correct,
media,
definitely.
could be television, radio. Right.
Yeah.
Got
But
it.
also to that point, Lisa came up with a very smart slogan off the cuff one day, which is more than marketing. We're aware that marketing has a little box and people see it as a certain element or function, but we want to offer ideas that go beyond that to help brands expand their footprint and make, obviously return on their investment. And we are developing a couple of ideas currently, which are, we kept it quiet, but we'll bring on to your show in a couple of months when they're new, and so you can really see how more than marketing has become what we said is. So watch the space. There's a lot coming up.
Right. And so, there are lots of businesses out there, and they're focused on making the widgets. They're focused on, providing a service for their clients. Kind of just handle employees and scheduling and just the day-to-day grind. And so sometimes marketing and promotions and advertising, in that bailiwick are sometimes seen as afterthoughts. I mean, what would you, and Blue Hive is kind of in, markets its services, and
Sure.
certainly Amadeus, your role there has been to help get the word out, and business development is a piece of that. So I'm curious from both of you, what advice would you give to, especially kind of a small business owner, why is it important that they kind of affirmatively think about marketing and maybe take steps to do so?
There's so many ideas out there. There's so many companies out there with a lot of vision and hope, but there's also a lot of noise as a result of that. And to get above the noise, to make a statement, to make a stand, you have to get your brand out there, get your brand recognized. You also have to realize your community as a whole can support you. And certainly in Worcester, we work together to encourage our respective businesses, and marketing also helps that. It helps your economy locally as well. So it's just a way to rise. And if the savvy marketers have realized that, if you think about those great campaigns that have happened in the past, like Nike, Just Do It. You know that slogan for years now, but it's a marketing slogan to help get their brand out there and expanded their footprint as a result. So it has a legacy of success and has a lot of potential as a result of what you can achieve through strong marketing.
Yeah, every brand's different, every client's different, and they want to be known for a very specific reason. The way we always say is like, are you a Starbucks person or are you a Dunkin' Donuts person? Like, you can get coffee or either one, but there are people who want one versus the other for whatever reasons.
How about you, Cheng? Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts?
I'm going to say Dunkin's because when I go to Starbucks, I just go, I like coffee. And they go, what kind? I go, coffee, just black. I take my coffee black. I'm very, I'm not into all the fancy drinks. I don't know the terms. I just drink black coffee.
Got it.
But you shouldn't drink coffee, you don't.
Yeah. The rule is don't let Cheng drink coffee past like 9 a.m.
Or too many, right?
Yeah.
So. We're just continuing some of the banter before the show started.
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, I interrupted you in the coffee
But,
analogy.
so obviously clients, they should get marketing so that people, because if they want to be seen as a Dunkin' Donuts, but if your story isn't getting told, people might confuse it. Their clients, their customers might say, oh, well, we don't come to you because we think you're like a Starbucks, and I'm not a Starbucks person. And so marketing helps clarify that message that they're trying to get across. They're getting their message correctly seen by their clients and their customers, their friends, everyone who uses their product or their services. So that's a really important thing, that you don't want that confusion to happen. And unfortunately, if you don't have a very strong brand, that it gets a little fuzzy. You're like, well, I'm not like whatever car guy you are. You're like, well, I'm not that car company because I'm this car company instead. And you might not know that you could be that potential client for that other car company. It's just that you always thought of that company as this quality, and you never realized they've been trying to internally change their story, and they just haven't done a good job getting that message out that, hey, we used to be this, but we've grown and now we're this instead. So that's why I think marketing is really important to get, especially because most companies keep growing, they're changing, they're never very just the same for years and years and years.
Right, and I assume some of this, when a client comes in or you ask questions, part of it is some level of analysis of who do they want to market to, right?
Oh, definitely,
That's essential.
definitely, yeah. We do a quick audit. We audit internally, their employees, we audit their customers, because it's not the first time where we'll ask, we had a client who come in and said, well, our customers come to us because we're known for our price, and that's why they like us. And then we actually go and ask their customers, hey, why'd you choose this client, like from all the ones out there? And they'll say, oh, it's because we love their firm values. Like, I can pick up the phone, I can call them, within the same day, they get back to me. Customer service is amazing. So the client thought that everyone's coming to us for our price. So like, that's the message that we need to keep driving out.
Yeah, that's good.
And their actual customers are like, well, we will pay you more. We love your customer service. And so that's where the difference is. and you have to like align it to make sure that you're getting your message out. Because if everyone's come to you for one thing, but you're marketing yourself as we want to be known for another quality, it sounds disingenuous, and it sounds there's confusion. So you want to obviously fix things like that.
Doing that inventory of what your strengths, what your
Definitely,
weaknesses
definitely,
are,
yes,
right?
definitely.
So Blue Hive, so you were on Hope Ave, and Paris Marketing has now moved up to the, as we were joking, the big house up off of Goddard Memorial Drive. So how do you have room up there at Blue Hive these days?
We sort of do and we sort of don't. I mean, it's a huge footprint as it is. We've got a massive body of staff, and bringing in 9 new people upstairs. We've been inventive with space, put it that way, but having a shop down there, we can just have things built conveniently. But we are looking at expansion. You know, the companies are growing, and so there are a few ideas being thrown around the place. And as Cheng and I do more, we're doing some television work ourselves, a thing called Paris After Dark, and as that develops, we may need to build a studio space. So it's a good problem to have, Tim.
Right.
I haven't got a full solution yet, but it's good. We're growing.
Well, I know we enjoyed our last year or the year before, Business After Hours. We hosted up at Blue Hive, and people really enjoyed it. It was a non-traditional space, but sometimes those are the best at Business After Hours. And I know that there's an ambassadors meeting coming up.
There is in May, and I know you've got Ryan coming on later who can talk about the strength of the ambassador program at the Chamber of Commerce. And you know, I encourage anyone to come up and have a look around. It's a bit like if you imagine Willy Wonka owned a marketing factory. It's pretty accurate.
It is. You can see it in action being made. Concept, the synergy, and a lot of good smells of burnt wood and cutting, and you know, it's a neat place.
Well, you want to be a lumberjack, don't you?
Yeah,
Cheng?
lumberjack dreams. I've always, like I said, I've always dreamt of it. I like working my hands. Love the smell of pine, tar, dirt. Love all that stuff.
So you can go from the creative side right into the milling room and get to
if
work.
they let me, I will run down to the shop every day. But obviously, they keep me chained to my desk. So, but
Got it.
No, they don't.
Got it. So, well, hey, fun having both of you on. We enjoyed learning a little bit about kind of marketing and why businesses should be there, and look forward to having you back at some point.